Today, we're talking about bringing customers back after Black Friday. Extremely timely, extremely relevant. And I don't have not one, but two experts today to tell you guys all about how to do this. I've got a bunch of questions I'm going to be asking them. They've got a bunch of answers. These two are brilliant. How are you guys doing? Welcome to the show. Super excited to have you guys here.
Doing great. Thank you, Chase.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. So we've got Tina and Lisa. This is going both on video and audio for those listening. This is Tina, Lisa. They're smiling. They look very happy. This is great. And we're going to dive in. Before we dive in, though, do you guys want to quickly share what you're working on?
Yeah, for sure. So quick intro. My name's Lisa. I'm the director of email marketing at FuelMade. And FuelMade is an agency that specializes in Shopify design and development, as well as email marketing on Klaviyo. So I head up the email marketing side of the agency, where we offer a turnkey solution to our brands.
Awesome. Yeah. And so I'm Tina and I lead marketing over at FuelMade. And honestly, like our mission is just about helping e-commerce companies grow. So Chase, when you reached out, it was perfect because one thing Lisa and I have been doing a lot this year has been connecting with people in the e-commerce industry to share tips like exactly what we're going to talk about today.
Amazing. Short and sweet. Let's do this. Let's get into the tactics. So before we do, well, why don't you guys set the stage on what's the inspiration behind us talking about post Black Friday, Cyber Monday? What's the importance of this and why are we talking about this today?
Yeah, so I've actually been working on Black Friday strategies and holiday strategies for our brand since I think about June. And maybe next year I'll start in February. But so I've really been in this for a while. And in parallel, just for fun, I was reading Dr. Robert Cialdini's book called Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion. And he has this really fun anecdote where he talks about how toy stores have a diabolic scheme to get people to buy as much in Q1 as they do in Q4. And so that just had me and the team thinking, because I brought it to them, how can we do the same for our brand? So the anecdote in his book is the toy stores will advertise some toys in Q4, but then run out of them so that the parents have to buy something else. And then they start advertising again in Q1 and the parents have to, live up to their promise to their kids and buy the actual toy. So obviously we're not recommending anything like that, but it was good to just start thinking, okay, well, there's a lot that we can actually do that's ethical. So what can we start putting together for our brands? So,
I love that. That's super interesting. Should everyone listening get that book? Is it
it's awesome. I loved it. It's really, for a marketer, it's really, really valuable. So I recommend it.
Awesome. Tina, anything to add? Or I have kind of a next question, if not.
Yeah, no, go for it. I think Lisa covered that one.
Cool. So, when this goes out, right, we're still going to be pre Black Friday, Cyber Monday, but not a lot of people are really talking about post Black Friday, Cyber Monday, which obviously is kind of the main topic here today. So once people get through Black Friday and Cyber Monday, in a couple of weeks for most people that are listening or watching this, what is the first thing that they should be doing before communicating with their customers again?
Tina, do you want to dive in or should I?
Yeah, I mean, well, one thing, obviously I learned this from working so closely with Lisa is you're going to have so many pop-ups and flows turned on for Black Friday. So number one is obviously turn those things off because Black Friday and Cyber Monday is now over. So you don't want to have all these mixed messages going on. So comb through your website, comb through your email, and just make sure all those things are now turned off so that you can prepare for the next things to come, which is going to be nurturing those relationships with those new customers you just got over Black Friday.
Yeah, and I think that's actually something, Chase, you talk about, what you should do during Black Friday to make sure that your flows are faster and your pop-up messages are actually relevant to the sales that you temporarily have on your website. I think that's so important. But yeah, as Tina said, you have to make sure you turn those off. And something else that you should absolutely do before you start asking for another sale from your new customers is make sure that you make those customers feel valued. So this is obviously something that's valuable for the entire year, but especially this big batch of leads that just came in and might have bought because you had a discount. Maybe they don't know that much about your brand yet. So now's the time to educate them to create that long-term relationship by sharing about your values, your mission, what else you have to offer, education. Someone just bought, I don't know, a hair product. They might not know how to use it well, help them use it well so that they actually love it and come back a few weeks later when you have that other messaging about holiday shopping.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I do like the idea of, educate before you try to make a sale again. And I think that that is so key. And one thing that I personally like seeing is like that personal message from the founder. And I think right after Black Friday, that's super important because you're getting so many promotions from so many brands that I think having that message from a founder right after you make a purchase can be a little bit more personalized than what other brands are maybe doing. And I think that's a really good way to educate about the brand for someone new. And then the other thing I always love seeing brands do and love receiving as a customer myself is actually asking for feedback about my purchase. So that just kind of tells me that, the brand is interested in my opinion on something before they're going to say, hey, we've got another 20% off sale, come buy from us again. It's like, no, like you just purchased from us. We really care about your opinion and let's talk about your experience with us first. And I think that those things are kind of key right after Black Friday.
Yeah, those are great answers. And you guys kind of alluded and probably answered most of my next question, but it was, after the hype of BFCM, how can you re-engage customers and build excitement around your brand? Is there anything that you guys want to add there? I think you guys have answered at least a decent portion of that with kind of your previous answer.
I think this comes in different steps. So first you build that trust by sharing free education, free information, being thankful and helpful. But then you can build actual hype for people to come back to your store by maybe putting together some fun gift guides. There's so many different angles that you can think of. Some angles would be how to buy for other people. Some angles are how to make your own holiday season better with our products. One gift guide we put together recently is just what pillow or gift to buy depending on your zodiac sign for a specific brand we have. And so for Pisces, we needed a very cuddly, comfortable pillow to go cry in or something like that. And so you can just make it very engaging with different angles. That's one way to re-engage.
Yeah, the bundles for sure, the thank you emails, absolutely. But also, just making sure you're giving like a good experience with educating about, shipping deadlines or gift cards that you offer as well. Like all those things are still going to be beneficial for customers because some people are doing their shopping during Black Friday, but some people have not thought about it yet. So making sure customers are just aware about how those things work with your brand, how shipping works with your brand, where they can even follow you on social media, all that kind of stuff, so that you can just keep bridging that relationship, keep building trust, and even drive it over to other channels at the same time.
Yeah, those are awesome. So we've spent most of this time so far talking about the exciting things, right? The hype, the sales, this, that, and the other, right? A lot of sales going to come through during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. That being said, not to be too somber, but there's also going to probably be heightened returns, right? So what are some of the best practices in your guys' mind to stay profitable and keep customers, engaged? So how do you basically use like email to either minimize returns, or how do you deal with returns? Do you have flows? Do you have campaigns? How do you guys think about basically returns? Just because that's going to obviously be something that we have to think about that most people don't talk about.
Yeah, I think even before, after Black Friday, like educating about how your returns work is important for like building up to Black Friday, like doing that now. And in your Black Friday campaigns, you should be educating customers like, hey, we do accept returns, we accept them for this long or whatever, just so people are aware of that. But then after Black Friday, I think carrying that over. And one tip that I personally like is trying to push for exchanges over returns. That can help you be still a little bit more profitable than, unfortunately, maybe seeing all of these incorrect sizes or incorrect colors just all coming back at once. Those are things that could easily be fixed with an exchange instead. So try pushing for those exchanges by making sure customers are aware how that works too, can help at least keep the sale afloat.
Yeah, and there are a bunch of different ways you can do that. So first of all, maybe you can make it free to ship back exchanges, but a little bit of a cost to ship back returns. You could also, if you see that someone's looking at your exchange and returns page, maybe trigger a flow for them with information on how to exchange, and then some bestsellers so that they can get excited about something else on your store. What else you could do? You could give a discount even to someone. If they exchange, they get a little discount on the new product they get. So lots of things you can do there, keeping in mind that someone who exchanges is actually actively deciding to continue the relationship with you versus someone who returns, who's just straight up ending it. And so much higher value to get an exchange. So it's worth the time.
Definitely.
Yeah, those are great answers. So what are some ways that brands can increase their AOV, so average order value, after Black Friday using email, right? So tons of sales, people are going to probably be a little bit fatigued with discounts. It's obviously important for founders to, drive more profitable conversions afterwards. So what are some of the ways in which brands can increase AOV at a more profitable amount directly after kind of BFCM?
Sorry, Lisa. One way I would definitely say is, we kind of mentioned it earlier, but bundling your products. So, right after Black Friday, maybe people just purchased one item, but if they purchased maybe like a cleanser for oily skin, well, that's a really good opportunity to then show them a full bundle of, well, here's a toner for oily skin as well. Here's a moisturizer for oily skin. So putting bundles together like that and then promoting them as such and in a personalized way. Like I said, for example, if someone purchased something for oily skin, it's safe to assume that they will need other products for oily skin as well. So bundling products can be a good way because then they're not just driving or purchasing one item, they're purchasing maybe a set of 3 or 4 items. So, and I think email's a really great way to show those bundles off after Black Friday.
Yeah, you can use emails to segment and show off the right bundles. You can also do it directly on your store with pop-ups potentially. Like we use Justuno, where we're able to, if someone adds something to the cart and that item is part of a bundle, just show them a pop-up with the bundle and say, hey, you're going to save so much if you buy both now. You're going to want it later. So there are strategies like that as well.
Awesome. And I know, I don't remember which one of you it was, but I know you guys had recently highlighted and kind of talked about the importance of like gift cards after Black Friday. Can you guys share a little bit more about like why this is important and kind of what's the purpose of gift cards?
Yeah, I can start.
Okay.
So, like I said, there's going to be people that use the Black Friday, Cyber Monday season to do some of their Christmas shopping, but there's going to be people who don't. And then you're going to realize it's December 22nd and you have no gifts for your brother's girlfriend or your niece or whoever. And you're going to panic a little bit. So this is where gift cards are beautiful because some people aren't aware that your brand may offer them. So highlighting your gift cards after Black Friday is a great way to say like, hey, we have this. It's a solution. If you're a bit of a last minute shopper, no worries. And one of my favorite ways that it was done was with Braxley bands, because I think there's a bit of a stigma around gift cards where people are like, oh, they're so impersonal. Like don't buy a gift card as a gift for someone. But Braxley bands was like, to people who think gift cards are impersonal, we say, and then it was like a bunch of like facial emojis, like question mark. I love that because I don't think gift cards are not a good gift. They're perfect for someone who maybe doesn't know your sizing or your style. So highlight them for that way because maybe you're a little bit late for your Christmas shopping or you just don't know exactly what to get someone. Those are my 2 favorite cases for it.
Yeah, and as the brand, you can also help the customer feel like a better gifter. Maybe you send them a pretty design of your store with some items that you sell, and you make it very easy for them to give away that gift card and make it seem like more of an experience, just with a little graphic that you attach to the gift card. I think that's such an easy thing to do and helps out. And then also as the brand, we have some brands right now dealing with inventory issues because so many of them are. So gift cards could also be a solution to that. Maybe you discount gift cards, letting your customers know very transparently that you're going to probably run out of a lot of items, but they're going to come back, I don't know, in February. So buy the discounted gift card now and get your beautiful leather bag in February once they're back in. And that's a good way to deal with an issue like that that's coming up.
Amazing. And we're going to do maybe rapid fire 2 more questions. You guys have been fantastic. One big concern, right? This is very top of mind for myself, probably you too, and everyone else, is delays with shipping and fulfillment, right? It's a real issue. It's something that's unfortunately going to be a detriment to a lot of customers and brands. How are you helping your customers work with this? Any tips you guys have or can give on kind of ways to mitigate maybe the shipping and fulfillment to some degree?
one first thought that comes to mind is just having great back-end stock systems. Make sure that's in place, and you're ready to share that with your customers who are interested. Tina?
Yeah, I think like this is just a key example of why it's so important to communicate clearly with customers. My favorite quote from Ezra Firestone was, "If you think you're emailing too much, I promise you're not." I don't think there's any such thing as over emailing when it comes to communication. So, just let customers know, like, hey, this is the deadline that you have if you want to get something under the Christmas tree in time. And then if it's after that deadline, then just being clear in your emails following up that, like, hey, this might not make it in time for this, but here are some things you can do instead until it arrives. Just giving customers all that information up front so that it saves your support team from some possibly very angry messages, but then it just gives your customers a better feeling of, hey, they're being honest with me. I appreciate and I respect that.
Awesome. And then the final question to kind of wrap this up. Do you guys have one campaign out of all the ones we've talked about, or maybe ones that we didn't talk about, or even one tip that you guys want to leave people with? And I'll let each of you guys kind of share one campaign or one tip.
There's a tip that actually Nick Sharma has been mentioning, and he applies to his email that I love. It's getting people to answer your first email communications with them. So just asking a easy question, like what's your favorite food? Like what's your favorite color? Something maybe that's more relevant to your brand. But you get people to answer the email, and it tells their inbox that yes, they want to be communicating with you. I think that's golden. I love that tip.
I would say my favorite that I've been writing a lot about too lately has been the importance of collecting customer first data. Obviously, we've seen brands struggling with the third-party cookies and iOS changes and their Facebook ads. It's been a big deal. It's everywhere. So one thing that Lisa and I have been focusing on a lot lately is communicating the importance of collecting zero-party and first-party data, so customer first data altogether. And then just, using things like quizzes, email preference centers, asking additional questions in your pop-ups now and even after Black Friday, because that information is going to be beneficial long-term. And then actually using that to properly segment and personalize the campaigns that you're sending to people. Like we're talking about nurturing relationships here after Black Friday. There's a perfect way to do it. Actually show customers that you know who they are and that you can personalize their preferences and recommendations based on that.
Wow, you guys were fantastic. This was a masterclass. Thank you guys so much for being here. What's the best way for people to find your agency? And then what's the best way for people to find each of you online?
Yeah, so we are feelmade.com, super simple. And then obviously we are pretty active on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. And same thing, you can just find us with @feelmade with most of those.
Awesome. And personal handles, or just want to follow FeelMade?
Yeah, personal handles. I share a lot of stuff for FeelMade too on my personal Twitter. I'm just at Tina_Donati there. And if you have any questions for FeelMade based on this conversation, feel free to email me. We'd love to help and answer you and share even content that might help you. So I'm Tina@feelmade.com.
Awesome. And then Lisa, any personal handles for you?
I'm more on LinkedIn for personal communication would be LinkedIn, I would say.
Cool. Thank you both so much. This was wonderful.
Thank you
so
Chase.
much.
This was really fun.
Of course.